Good evening, dames and guests. I am Anna Duff, President of the National Society of the Colonial Dames of America, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this historic virtual biennial council meeting. Whether this is your first biennial or 25th, we are so delighted you are with us tonight. I hope you have enjoyed the breakout session offerings these past few days. Having a virtual format has allowed us to increase our informative sessions this year. It has also allowed us to segment the recognition pieces of our meetings from the business portion. Tonight, we focus on the work of the corporate societies and recognize your outstanding projects with the presentation of the Clarinda, Pendleton, Lamar Awards for Excellence in our 3 mission project committees. Following the announcement of the award winners, we will honor those members who have been named by their society for inclusion in the Roll of Honor the past 2 years. This distinct and special honor is for service above and beyond the ordinary, for devotion and outstanding leadership, and for dedication to the ideals of the colonial dames. The last item on our program this evening will be the presentation of the new members of the Legacy Circle. Marcy Moody will now introduce the Clarinda, Pendleton, Lamar Awards for Excellence.
Good evening, welcome. As we turn now to the Lamar Awards, I'd like to give you a little background on Clara Pendleton Lamar, after whom these awards are named. She was an incorporator of the Georgia Society in 1893. She served as a national officer for 25 years, 13 of which she served as national president. She chaired the committee to acquire Dumbarton House. She led the effort to raise Sulgrave Manor Endowment. She encouraged extensive publishing, including the still classic Old Silver of American Churches. She authored the early history of our society and wrote a classic letter on membership qualifications still in use today. She is described by her peers as being brilliant, vivid, quick, charming, and incisive. And I realize this image of her painting at Dumbarton House does not fully reveal that character, but this was before the days of iPhones when we could get a candid snapshot. So the awards are to honor her legacy, to highlight exceptional projects and services in our state societies in our 3 service areas, the Museum Alliance, Historical Activities, and Patriotic Service. And so that we can all learn and be inspired by other societies' positive accomplishments. So what are the judging criteria? Support for our mission, impact on the society and or its local communities, potential for replication in other locations, accomplishments and impact overall, and bonus points are given for well-written and presented materials. So who are the judges? The judges are the chairs of the 3 national project committees whom you see here, Catherine Kamek, Museum Alliance, Julie LINEBERRY, Patriotic Service, Barbara Linville, Historical Activities, plus their vice chairs who are not represented, who are not photographed here, plus the national president, Anna Duff, and myself. And we'll turn now to the 3 project chairs who will announce their winners, beginning with Catherine Kamek, chair of the National Museum Alliance.
Ladies of the Biennial Council, it gives me great pleasure to announce the Lamar Award winners for excellence in the Museum Alliance category. We were thrilled to have 9 applications from around the country for the award this year. Each was compelling in its own right, and we all learned that there is exciting work being done in each region of our country. And the winners are South Carolina, the Powder Magazine's Second Cup Conversation. This project was developed in the spring of 2020 in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. The Zoom platform was used to host 2 online casual morning conversations each month about various history topics. The informal nature of the program was helpful for guest conversation starters. This online program keeps members and other enthusiasts connected to the Powder magazine even throughout the pandemic, and has helped expand their knowledge of the NSCDA properties and our nation's history. Participation grew from about 20 at its inception to more than twice that today. Online donations have increased in response to this program. This project is an example of successful collaboration between Great American Treasures Properties and the Colonial Charleston Coalition. This collaboration successfully provided broad programming to expanded and diverse audiences. I encourage you to visit the website to learn more about this program. Congratulations, South Carolina and the Powder magazine. And the next winner is Texas. The Neil Cochran House Museum. If These Walls Could Talk. This provocative exhibition combined displaying contemporary Trompe l'oeil works juxtapositioned in the History Museum spaces with performances by a Black storyteller. The purpose of the collaboration was to promote a deeper and more meaningful conversations about their city's past, using their site to address long-standing racial conflicts which remain in the city today, and to help expand the visibility of Neil Cochran House Museum in Austin by bringing in a wider spectrum of people beyond the history buffs. Even with a 3.5-month closure due to COVID-19, the project was the most successful project undertaken by the museum, bringing in more than 950 visitors in a few months' time. The modern art objects installed throughout the historic spaces were placed specifically to disrupt the traditional narrative for a museum visitor and to help promote conversations about Austin's past, present, and future. The Black storyteller presented a series of performances based on Trompe l'oeil objects, focusing on the history of Blacks in the Jim Crow South. Of particular note was a focus on the 5 enslaved people the owners of the house sold in order to finance construction works on the site. I hope you will take a moment to review this thought-provoking project on the website. Congratulations, Texas and the Neil Cochran House Museum.
Good evening, ladies. This is Julie LINEBERRY. I'm so pleased to be with you here to announce the Patriotic Service Committee's choices for the 2020 Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Awards. We had some wonderful submissions, and it was a hard decisions to choose, but we have, as you will well understand, very active and creative dames, especially during this COVID. I would like to say some of our activities were put off during COVID because of the hands-on nature of the dames' involvement with the Patriotic Service projects that they run all year. Many of the planned events just have been postponed, and we're not presented this year. Museums canceled, courts canceled. As you all know, don't have to tell you, we've all been canceled. But we're here. We have 2 wonderful ones. So the first one is the Lamar Award for Excellence for the Patriotic Service. Winner is Homeward Bound for Cobb Veterans. This was submitted by the Marietta Town Committee in NSCDA, Georgia. and it provides household supplies for veterans participating in the MUST Ministries, a Veterans Permanent Housing Program. The program got its start with 2 years ago, the 2016 biennial, or winner for the Patriotic Service was the Georgia Society, who had a matching grants program for their Patriotic Service and historic activities projects. And so this project got its seed money from that. Veterans make a list of basic household supplies that they need, and the dames do the bulk shopping 3 times a year and then deliver the supplies. The results were grateful appreciation of vets for desperately needed basic supplies and a bonding of hands-on dames working together on this project. So we recommend it to all of the societies throughout the country to try it, check it, see if it works for some type of veterans project, veterans home, veterans housing, in your particular area. The dames of Georgia found it extraordinarily rewarding. All right, now our second award winning for the Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Award is from the NSCDA Indiana. And they have submitted in previous years and not been selected. Each year they do different projects. NSCDA Indiana has worked with the HVAF, the Helping Veterans and Families program there, to determine needs every year when they are helping these veterans. Responding to requests this year for portable, cleanable mats for under sleeping bags. In COVID, it was difficult. So the mats are crocheted and knitted with recycled plastic yarn made from strips of plastic bags. They're then tied together, and the bags were contributed by dames, their friends, and neighbors. And some of the the plastic yarn was looped together by the help of teens that were in a detention center. In this way, the dames in Indiana were able to reach out to a number of community groups to help with this project, even during COVID. The project could be done in a group to promote camaraderie and also self-in knitting or crocheting during the pandemic. Once pandemic struck, and they cut back on group activities, and it was hard to keep track sometimes of the number of mats that were provided. But you could also, I was told by someone, you could braid it like an old braided rug that our grandmothers used to do. So this is a thing if you want to recycle some old bags and see if your veterans want it. We don't suggest that they need things. We respond to what they do need. I'm very proud of both of these groups. They worked through the pandemic, and it was difficult, and we salute you.
As chair of the National Historical Activities Committee, I was pleased to be a member of the 7-person panel to evaluate 9 truly inspiring applications for the 2020 Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Awards. It was a daunting challenge to narrow the field to just 2 winners. All 9 are posted on the NSCDA website, and I hope that you will take time to learn what other state societies are doing. Perhaps you will find an idea which might appeal to your own group. The first award winner is Tennessee for their redesigned portrait website portal. The Dame's 15-year-old TennesseePortraits.org website was totally redesigned, expanded, and improved. The site includes an extensive database of historical portraits of Tennessee subjects and people significant to the state's history from private collections and institutions. The new website has greatly expanded search capabilities and interactive elements missing from the original site. Dames worked closely with professional webmasters to design and build a more attractive, visually compelling, and interactive site, which scales to fit phones, tablets, and desktop monitors. The database includes over 2,500 portraits and works well under an appropriate sub-brand under the NSCDA in Tennessee logo. Additional information and links to other DAMES websites has also been added. Google Analytics reports that since the new site was launched on April 1, 2020, there have been 1,539 users, 1,817 sessions, 59% of visitors have come by desktop, 36% by mobile, and 5% by tablet. By working with outside professional assistants, the Tennessee Dames were able to make their very important collection of portraits readily accessible. They can easily expand this collection. They are available to any other state society to offer their advice and expertise. Congratulations to the Dames of Tennessee on being winners of the 2020 Historical Activities Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Award. The second winner of this year's award is Wyoming for their Mandel Cabin School curriculum. Working with their local school district, Dames developed an interactive experience for third graders to help give them a visual idea of Mandel's early history. A 13-minute video was produced by the Dames using interactive historic maps, historical photographs, and paintings to place the Mandel Cabin Soddy into the larger context of the state's history. The theme of the presentation was, "If These Walls Could Talk," because the log walls of their cabin are the original logs from 1880 used to build the first post office. This put their town on the map as Mandel, Wyoming. In addition, a detailed curriculum guide was prepared with a Sheridan grade school teacher. On-site activities were developed and led by Dames volunteers to engage the children's interest and challenge their curiosity. Over 200 participants per year have enjoyed this expanded educational experience, and the Dames have received rave reviews from both students and school staff. In order to make school children's visits to the 1880 log cabin in Sheridan meaningful, the Dames created a thoughtful and very detailed 3-station teacher's guide. It is very interactive and helps students consider the materials used in building the cabin, as well as how the soddy was used. There are helpful hints to teach where this cabin fits into the history of the United States. Congratulations to the Wyoming Dames on being winners of the 2020 Historical Activities Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Award.
Greetings, fellow Dames. I'm Mary Fields, and it is an honor for me to be your chair of the Roll of Honor, and particularly to receive the nominations of the ladies you are about to meet. First, a bit of history to help you put a framework around the significance of this honor. In 1941, the Golden Jubilee Anniversary Celebration was held, and it provided a special occasion to pay tribute to the founders and the leadership of this organization. Donations were received that established the Golden Jubilee Fund. The idea of honoring leadership expanded to allow each society to nominate their own members who demonstrate that sustained leadership and support of the NSCDA mission and ideals, keeping history alive. Today, on the occasion of the 2020 Biennial Council, we honor 72 Dames who have been nominated since the previous Biennial Council in 2018. They are our newest history makers. Shirley McCrary, Alabama. Carolyn Green Satterfield from Alabama. Grace Bushnell Watley from Alabama. From Arizona, Cynthia Cobb. From Arkansas, Ann Orsi. From California, Nancy Asaf, Ruth Donahue, Caroline Fish, and Margaret Martin. From Colorado, Carolyn Moore. From Washington, D.C., Ellen Boomer. From Delaware, Sarah Delonzo. Also from Delaware, Bets Jackson. From Florida, Monette Kent. Mary Giddens. Elizabeth Grinnan. Also from Florida, Edith Stickney. From Georgia, Leslie Hudson. Kathleen Ray. Margaret Rich. And Joy Schwartz. From Hawaii, Margaret Armstrong. From Illinois, Winifred Hayes, Claudia Lane, and Sonia Woolsey Page. Also from Illinois, Janine Bergeron and Camilla Burgess. From Indiana, Marjorie Bates. From Iowa, Christine Bartley. From Kansas, Mary Shepard. From Louisiana, Libby Siskren. From Maine, Carrie Robinson. From Maryland, Laura West Byerly. Also from Maryland, Catherine Zabriskie and Marguerite Ayers. Also from Maryland, Sarah Barley. Martha Pellington. From Massachusetts, Elizabeth Robinson. From Michigan, Elizabeth McCormick. From Minnesota, Adrian Morrison. Also from Minnesota, Lois Mackin. From Nebraska, Christy Hedgepeth. Frederica Verhultz. From New Hampshire, Nancy Borden. Also from New Hampshire, Susan Haydock. And Mary Waples. From Nevada, Margaret Hilton. From New York, MP Nod. From North Carolina, Sarah Larkin. From Ohio, Carrie Vanderzee. From Oregon, Anita Lebo. Also from Oregon, Ruth Matarazzo. And also Susan Reck, who is deceased. From Pennsylvania, Genevieve Ebert. Barbara Rogers. Elizabeth Teddy. And from South Carolina, Mariana McIntyre. Renee Marshall. Carolyn Dargon. From Tennessee, Joan Campbell. Alice Whitson. From Texas, Catherine Blair. Margaret Gooch. Susan Spruance. Molly Zachary. From Virginia, Mary Carey. From the state of Washington, Lorraine Dracobly. Maureen Gibbons. From West Virginia, Catherine Becker. Jessica Graney. Dixie Wilson. And from Wyoming, Mary Love. Congratulations, ladies. Everyone give a round of applause to our newest history makers. Now, anyone who's out there in this interesting time who is a Roll of Honor recipient, please stand up and pat yourself on the back and we'll all clap for you. Bravo! You make what the NSCDA is today. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Liz Forman, and I am the NSCDA's Legacy Circle Chair. We have had an exciting 2 years since Biennial 2018, and I am pleased to report that the Legacy Circle has gained 8 new members, bringing us to 41 in total. We invite all NSCDA members to join the Legacy Circle by remembering the NSCDA and its national headquarters, Dumbarton House, in your estate plan. Although 2020 has us living in a bit of a topsy-turvy world, I want you to know that the future looks great for the NSCDA, Dumbarton House, and the Legacy Circle. What follows is a video that I hope will inspire you to one day consider this kind of engagement with the Society. Thank you for your attention.
winners of the Clarinda Pendleton Lamar Awards for your outstanding projects, the Roll of Honor recipients, and the new members of the Legacy Circle. Thank you for everything you do for our beloved organization. Please join us tomorrow and Sunday for the continuation of our business sessions of the 63rd Biennial Council. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the official opening session at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us.